He spent 30 years on death row for a crime he didn't commit. In 2014, they finally admitted he was innocent. They opened the gates. He walked out free. But just 1 year later, Glen Ford was dead. And I'll tell you this right now, he didn't die from cancer. He was killed by the system. What you're about to hear is not just one man's story. It's America's shame. So let's rewind, and I'll show you how justice became murder with paperwork. 1983, Shreveport, Louisiana. A jeweler named Isidore Roseman was found shot dead in his shop. Police wanted a suspect fast. Not the right suspect. Not the real suspect. Just someone. And they picked Glen Ford. Why? Not because of evidence. Not because of DNA. Not because of witnesses. No. They picked him because he was black, poor, and lived nearby. And in Louisiana at that time, that was enough to sign your death warrant. Glen Ford's trial wasn't just unfair. It was a circus. His lawyers? Court-appointed. No experience in capital cases. They didn't investigate. They didn't fight. The prosecutors? They stacked junk testimony, unreliable witnesses, and bent the rules. And the jury? Every single one of them, white. It took them less than 3 hours to decide Glen's fate. Death by electric chair. Glen said it himself, "My lawyers didn't even know what they were doing. I never stood a chance." And he was right. Imagine a cell the size of your bathroom. That's where Glen lived. For 3 decades. Every morning, he woke up waiting to die. Every night, he closed his eyes knowing the state could flip the switch at any moment. While the world moved forward, his life froze. His children grew up without him. His family aged without him. Glen sat behind bars, forgotten. He once said, "My sons grew up without me. Now I'm free, and I don't even know who they are." Think about that. A father, stolen from his children, because the system found it convenient. And then, the cracks started to show. New evidence came to light. The witnesses who lied? They recanted. The prosecutors? They finally admitted the truth. Glen Ford was innocent. After 30 years of hell, he walked free. The cameras rolled. Reporters swarmed him. And Glen said, "My freedom is precious, but they stole my life." He wasn't exaggerating. Because freedom came with a cruel twist. Glen Ford was 64 years old when he walked out of prison. But just weeks later, doctors told him he had terminal lung cancer. The state gave him nothing. No state apology. No compensation. Nothing to rebuild his life. Louisiana fought to deny him even a penny. And 1 year later, Glen Ford was dead. Free on paper, but destroyed in reality. They didn't just steal Glen's freedom. They stole his life. And here's the truth no one wants to say. Glen Ford didn't die from cancer. He died from the justice system. He is one of more than 190 people in America who were sentenced to death. And later proven innocent. How many more are still in their cells right now? How many will never see the truth come out? This isn't just Glen's tragedy. It's a mirror held up to America. And unless we demand change, it will happen again. They gave Glen Ford his freedom, but they never gave him his life back. And that's not justice. That's murder with paperwork. A house divided against itself cannot stand. And what do you call a justice system that claims to protect life, yet destroys innocent ones? Doctors lose their license for malpractice. Pilots get grounded for one fatal mistake. So tell me, why don't prosecutors and judges face consequences when their recklessness kills? If a man is wrongfully executed, shouldn't the ones who put him there be held accountable? Because if the very people sworn to uphold justice can commit legal murder with no penalty, then injustice isn't a flaw in the system. It is the system. And unless we demand accountability from those in power, this house will collapse on all of us. The Roseman family published a guest column in the Shreveport Times in April 2015 saying plainly, "Glen Ford is not an innocent victim." That statement reflects the family's lived pain and their belief that Ford had some connection to items from the robbery. I want to be clear, and I'll say this slowly because it matters. The Roseman family, people who lost a father and a brother, told the Shreveport Times they do not believe Glen Ford is an innocent victim. Their words are painful and legitimate, and we have to respect that grief. At the same time, the legal record tells another story. A judge vacated Ford's conviction after new evidence and admissions showed the original trial was tainted, and the prosecutor who handled the case publicly apologized. That apology is not small. It admits failures that directly undercut the conviction. So what do we do with these two truths at once, a family's pain, and a court's finding that the conviction was unreliable? The honest answer is this: both can be true. The Rosemans deserve the right to grieve and to question. Ford, by the legal standard, was freed because his conviction was unsafe. That legal reversal doesn't erase the Rosemans' loss. But neither does the family's pain erase documented prosecutorial failure. The larger takeaway should not be who won this argument on social media. It should be the systemic failure that allowed a possibly innocent man to spend decades on death row, and the failure to provide closure to a grieving family. So ask yourself, if our institutions can convict without the truth, and if prosecutors can later apologize for sending the wrong man to death row, what should justice look like? Should there be consequences for those whose recklessness destroys lives? If a house built to protect life helps kill the innocent, that house will fall. If you believe this story deserves to be heard, share it. Don't let Glen's death be silent. Make it louder than their silence. Injustice ignored doesn't vanish, it multiplies. Subscribe to Shadowland so these stories aren't buried. If you're already with us, you're not just watching, you're one of the unwavering voices pushing the world toward truth.